Beyond Technique with pianist Joe Bush speaking on the Sonata in F minor, number 23 by Beethoven.
This is the 23rd sonata. It's Michael Jordan's sonata. This Appasionata sonata is the greatest sonata of all time, right? So, what makes it the greatest sonata of all time? Because I said it. No, I'm joking. But seriously, this sonata, first things first, is context. Context makes this important. Beethoven wrote this sonata when he found out that he was going deaf and there was nothing he could do. And he wrote this sonata at the same time he wrote the Fifth Symphony, at the same time he wrote Waldstein, and at the same time he wrote his Heiligstad Testament. And the Heiligstad Testament, people, even nowadays, people consider Beethoven kind of like a crazy guy, like really emotional. He didn't have any friends. He hated life. But the Heiligstad Testament says this Beethoven wrote this to his friends. He didn't. They didn't see this, but he wrote this. He says, "You guys think that I'm sad. You guys think that I don't like your company. You guys think that I shun people, but it's not because I'm trying to shun you guys away. It's actually I'm losing my hearing and I can't do anything about it. And it embarrassed him that he was losing his hearing. I mean, obviously in the 1800s it probably would have meant the death of his career, which is why he had to hide that fact from his friends. And so he hid the fact that he couldn't hear from his friends, and he allowed them to think that he was crazy, but he wasn't going to tell them that he was going deaf. And so we even now think that Beethoven is crazy, but he wasn't crazy. And so, but also in the Heiligstad Testament, he talks about how I will continue to make music because this is what I do. And it's such a powerful lesson. What do you do in the face of abysmal abysmal odds, right? You just continue to do what you're going to do. And that's why we love Beethoven. This sonata is also important because what a sonata does, I've been thinking about this for a long time. What a sonata should do is it should present itself as it's almost like a roadmap that you need to go from point A to point B. And the way Beethoven wrote this first movement, what makes it the greatest sonata is because it does what the sonata is supposed to do from beginning to end, is make you have to listen from beginning to end. So one thing that Beethoven doesn't do through this whole piece is he never gives you a perfect authentic cadence until the third movement in the key of F minor. In fact, if you think about this, a perfect authentic cadence is when you go T to Do in soprano and So to Do in the bass, right? It's if we're in this key, which is Beethoven should do that at the end of this piece. He doesn't do that. What does he do? He does. That's what he ends on the first movement, this chord right here, which is so unsatisfying, right? You actually don't hear a full F minor chord until you get to the third movement, which is like 10 minutes later. And so that's why so what it's doing is it's it's delaying the effect of the delaying the effect of the arrival that you're expecting for 13 minutes, right? And then the way he deals with form in this piece. A sonata should also, the second theme should return in the original key. A sonata modulates, and okay, let me slow down. I'm just nerding out. Sonatas have two themes, and really what a sonata is a resolution of those two themes. Theme one, theme two. Theme two transposes everything and takes us on a journey. Now, theme two, by the end, should resolve itself in the same key as the first theme. Beethoven doesn't give you that until something he invented during this time period, which is the coda. That coda, he is when he gives you the actual theme in the key of F minor. So theme 1 is, and then theme 2 is. But he doesn't give you that. You think you're gonna get that later, but he gives it to you in F major. But he doesn't give it to you until you go. Also, he's developing the theme in the coda. That doesn't happen. He develops the theme in the coda. He doesn't develop it. I mean, he takes it through its little thing in the real development, but he's even expounding upon it at the end. It's just, I mean, the guy was just crazy when it comes. He is the thematic master. He's the master of taking a thing, literally, even just the idea, the poignant idea of what this is. Literally, Beethoven at this time, they invented the piano that had the F key, which is something that I just learned. There was no F key before, and so this was the lowest note on his new piano, which is why he wrote that. And then even the opening theme of this is, if you understand Beethoven, he's not Mozart. He is the building master. And all his theme is an arpeggio. And all music is a scale or an arpeggio. So out of an arpeggio, he's gonna take you on a journey he's gonna write the greatest sonata with just an arpeggio of a chord. You know, I mean, what can you say about this? That's all the whole piece is that. And then I totally forgot to mention the other part of the theme that's featured in this in the 23rd sonata. Just to give you a little example. So we have, what is that? That's in the 23rd sonata, but you know that theme. The most iconic theme that there's ever been, and he put it in this sonata. That's also what makes it the greatest sonata of all time, because it's the most iconic thing. It's the most. We love that, and this theme is pervasive and throughout this whole sonata. It's this death. Again, this is Beethoven writing when he found out, I'm going deaf and there's nothing I can do. It's just, and last point, it's just cool. The rhythm is cool. And the last movement is pure hip hop. It's just cool. So it's context, it's thematic form, which makes it great, and it's good music. It's like, when I first heard this, I played this for dudes that they would never know what any Beethoven is. They think Bach is the guy from the oatmeal. But I played this for them and they go crazy. They're like, yo, Joe, what is that? This is sick, dude. This is crazy, because this is good music. It's above all, it's just great music. It's good hearing music. You want to listen to it. That's why I love this piece. It's my favorite piece. I'll stop there, because I can go on forever and ever and ever about this piece. In the second, I didn't even get to talk about the second or the third movement, but it just begs the question. I'll wrap it up there.
For further information on Joe Bush, you can go to joebush12music@gmail.com. I hope you enjoyed this lecture and performance as much as I enjoyed producing it. My name is Elizabeth Tefangshin. I'm the author of Studies for Advanced Piano Technique in an Approachable Manner. www.pianotechnique.guide